Hello there, my name's Mark Dennison from BBC Radio Nottingham, and I've been sort of involved in the writing competition for a good few years now, and I know this year has been tricky, isn't it, in lots of ways, but I do know that lots of people have got even more creative, and that includes doing writing, and hopefully, as well as potentially being a winner in this, you've found it all really, really useful. I am now going to wish you the very best of luck, and I'm going to hand over to the queen of the writing competition herself and the founder of the whole thing, Julie Malone, and good luck again.
Well, good morning. That was a lovely welcome by Mark Dennison. He's been a much appreciated support to the competition over a number of years now, and it looks as if I've been promoted. Welcome to the awards presentation of the 2020 Creative Writing Competition for the Children of Nottinghamshire. For those who don't know me, I'm Julie Malone. I'm founder and president of New Writers UK, and I'm the organiser of the competition, and have been so for 12 years now. Today we are joined by the Mayor of Gedling Borough Council, Councillor Sandra Barnes, and her husband, Councillor Peter Barnes, and we are also joined by children's author Wilf Morgan. Hello. And although you can't see him, sitting in the background is the leader of Gedling Borough Council who's come to see what we're up to. So, Councillor John Clark. So I'm now going to ask our lovely Mayor to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Julia. Can I say good morning all to you all wonderful up-and-coming writers. As we all know, that this has been a particularly horrendous year in one way or another for almost everyone. It is the first time in 12 years that the finalists of this countrywide creative writing competition have been denied the two presentations that they truly deserve, and it's become accustomed to in recognition of their writing achievements, and it is such a shame. However, we couldn't let the talents of our country's young writers go by without finding some way to applaud them, and this streamed event has been arranged to do just that. Gedling Borough Council are really delighted to continue our involvement with the competition and host this presentation, but we hope to return to the uplifting, inspirational and time-honoured events when we can meet our young writers face to face, together with their supportive families and teachers, as this is so wonderful and we've missed doing things face to face and meeting and greeting, and it's so much better. Well, now, to close, on behalf of Gedling Borough Council, I would like to congratulate you all on doing so well in this year's competition. And for those of you who are eligible, I do hope that you will enter again next year. You really must do. It's so important and enjoyable, as all those who have done it have found out. Our best wishes go out to all of you. Well done, congratulations, and good luck as you go through your lives in whatever you wish to do. We all wish you very well. And now I'll hand back to Julie. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Now, before we begin the presentation, I just wanted to let you know about the awards that you could receive. All finalists will receive a certificate. There you go. A copy of this year's book containing all the finalist stories and poems. You'll have a book of your own choice, and the placed finalist will receive a medal. Now, on with the presentation. So, for Group 1, the Brian Treffery and Joan Oliver Award for Primary School Entrance, the finalists are Martha Hill for her story Terrific Ted versus the Dinosaurs, Ridwan Hossain for his poem Drago, the King of Dragons, Hannah Jampson for her poem Coronavirus, Oscar Straw for All Will Die, Natasha Zook for her story My Suspicious Neighbour, Charlotte Walter for her story The Ugly Warthog and the Lost City of Azula, which I think is a fantastic title, and Nathan Wilson for his story, The Mountain Adventure. Placed finalists, this year, because the score was so close, we added a fourth place. Normally it's first to third. So fourth place for poetry is Finn Howard for COVID-19. And for story, Dominic Carey, no, I made a mistake. Yeah, Finn Howard, that's my mistake. Finn Howard, COVID-19 for poem, and for story, Hannah Jampson for My Field Trip Across South America. I jumped a bit ahead of myself there. Right, so now on place. For poetry, we have Finn Howard again for his poem, Dreadful Menace. And for story, Dominic Carey for George the Unlikely Hero. And now we go on to second place. For poetry, Nathan John for Freedom. And for story, Sophie Lee for The Forbidden Forest. Now on to first place for this category. Poetry, Oscar Straw for Save the Planet. And story, Isabel Spate for Journey Through Our Quarrels. Now, congratulations and well done to everyone in the first group, and my apologies for my mistake. I would like now to go on to our second video, please, and this is by former primary school teacher and competition judge, Sally Holmes. Thank you.
Congratulations. You've done brilliantly. I so enjoyed reading your stories and your entries for the competition. Look at how much you've achieved, being published already at your age. Such an amazing talent to have. I really hope you're going to carry on writing because I want to see more entries another year. Well done. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sally. Now for group 2. And this is for secondary school entrants in the years 7 and 8. Finalists in this group are Evangeline Adu for her poem, Memories. Valeria Kamal-Badursky for her story, The Monster at the Window. And Ebony Marriott for her story, Sydney. For third place, we have a shared position for poetry. Evangeline Adu for How Life Has Changed. Ebony Marriott for Quarantine. Now, story, third place. We have Alice Robinson for Sibling Jealousy. Now we move on to second place. For poetry, Oliver Carey for Hound of Hell. And for story, again, we have shared position. Elizabeth Simpson for The Summer Camp. And Enea Osman for The Virus Defeater. We'll see how much the virus has affected everybody this year. So for group 2, first place, poetry, Evangeline Adu, again, for The Pain Afflicts. And for story, Harrison Bird for The Temple. So congratulations to all our Group 2 finalists. Again, we've had some tremendous entries. I would like now to hand over to move on to our third video. And this is by actor and children's author Clive Mantle, known for many television, film and theatre roles, namely Casualty, The Vicar of Dibley, Game of Thrones, and Robin of Sherwood.
Hi, it's Clive Battle here. I'm an actor and author, and welcome to the Nottinghamshire County-wide Creative Writing Competition. Sorry it's got to be virtual, but these are very strange times, and at least you're having some sort of award ceremony. So congratulations to all the finalists, indeed to all the winners, but just to be in the final is an amazing achievement. And I'm especially thrilled because it will cement your love for writing and reading throughout your life, and it's a very, very important thing. I discovered it later on. I started writing my books well into my 40s and 50s, so it's never too late, but it's really great to start early and get hooked on it. You don't have to end up being a professional writer, but it's a really wonderful skill to learn and very, very important. Okay, so have a wonderful evening, and I send you my very best wishes, especially Julie Malone, who organises this and has done for the last 12 years, and has done an amazing job to get a virtual award ceremony off the ground. So well done all, and don't forget, read my books. All right, take care, bye-bye.
Thank you, Clive. It was lovely. Now, Group 3, for secondary school entrance in years 9 to 11. These were all stories. We didn't have any poetry entries in this group. So the finalists are Elizabeth Bailey Flitter for her story Portamundi 6, and Bashma Zaman Maha for her story Traitors of Sanity. Now, for third place, we go to Ruby Walter for Lost in the Woods. And second place, Megan Longmire for Escape. Group 3 first place is Jenna Neal for Unravelling Mysteries. So our congratulations to all for some terrific stories again. Well done, everybody. Now we have our last video, and this is a young adult science fiction writer, Ian Charles Douglas, a long-time supporter of the competition and again one of our judges, and he's also a local author.
Hello, I'm Ian Douglas. I live in Nottingham and I'm an author. I write under the pen name Ian C. Douglas, the C stands for Charles, and I get to write science fiction adventures for young adults. Here are a couple of my books about a teenager called Zeke Haley living on Mars and getting into all kinds of scary adventures. And I'm also very lucky that I'm associated with the writing contest. So I'm here today to say to all of you, congratulations. You've got to publication. That is a wonderful achievement. You should be very proud of yourselves. I'm very proud of all of you. And I just want to say, well done. And you are champions of the imagination. And imagination is a very important gift to have. Keep it with you. It will help you through life, fix problems, come up with new ideas, entertain, understand. It's a wonderful tool to have in your toolkit. So, enjoy the day. Enjoy this time with your family and friends. Enjoy reading your story and poems and reading all the others, and carry on writing. Thank you. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Our last group, and this is the John Allen Award for 16 to 18-year-old entrants. There were no finalists in this group. Unfortunately, a few weren't as good as they should have been and didn't score enough to get through. So, Group 4, third place. For poetry, we have Jessica Faulkner for The Letter. And for story, Benjamin Carey for The Last Hunt. Now, I'd like to just add in a little personal note here. I'd like to congratulate Ben on beginning his degree course at Leicester University. Well done, Ben. Group 4, second place. For poetry, the award goes to Abigail Hutchison for Goodbye Words. And for story, it's Francesca Lees for A Cold, Damp Night on the Yorkshire Moors. And now that is a tale to chill the blood. Group 4, first place. Again, we have a shared position, equal scores. For poetry, Rebecca Evans for Hope, and Jessica Faulkner for Mesmerised. And now, our final award for fourth group story is Rebecca Evans for A Promise is a Promise. And again, congratulations to everybody in Group 4 and to everybody in each of these groups. You've all done some wonderful work, and I hope you'll continue to write. So now I would like to hand over to our guest author, Wilf Morgan, who's the founder of the publishing house 88 Tales Press and author of The Cotton Keeper, Lost Angels and The Assassin's Wedding. Over to you, Wilf.
Thanks, Julie. Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to everybody who has put in all the hard work and got in this competition. In fact, I just want to say congratulations and well done just for sitting down and actually writing and making the time to write, because I know that can be difficult. Last night, in fact, I sat down to do some work on the latest book in my series, and I've just got to get at least one chapter done tonight, and somehow, I'm not quite sure how it happened, but all of a sudden I found myself on the PlayStation blasting TIE Fighters for like 2 hours. So I do know how difficult it is, so well done just for even getting, sitting down and actually doing the work. But when it does work and when it does sort of flow, it does feel really good and really sort of exciting to be creating something that you know other people are going to enjoy in some way. And but also on top of that, the stuff that you've done is also really important as well. And I'll explain why. There's a general common misconception that human beings are naturally sort of these logical creatures who can look around and assess the world and come up with sort of logical, scientific reasoned arguments and solutions to problems. And obviously we do those things, and we're really good at doing those things when we put our mind to it. But naturally, really, we're quite emotional creatures, and we sort of we don't really see the world in facts and figures so much as stories, and that's how we sort of interpret everything. And I mean, if you think about it, when you are watching the news and you hear something about the coral reefs, the Great Barrier Reef or something getting damaged by human activity, you don't sort of sit and think necessarily, oh, I wonder how the salinity of the water is affected by climate change and the decay of the corals per square centimetre. And obviously, some people do think that way, and it's really good they do, because they do some really important scientific work to help us understand all the things that are going on there and how to fix it. The rest of us basically think about Finding Nemo. We just basically think, oh no, Nemo and Dory's home is getting destroyed by human activity or whatever. And that's not to trivialize it, that's really important, because that's how it's our connection with that story that basically inspires us to get up and do something about it. So it's really important, and so that's where you guys come in, and all the work that you do as writers and poets. You actually can look around and see the world and interpret it in a way that you can then communicate to people in ways that they can understand and remember. J.K. Rowling could easily have written a scientific paper on the importance of having friends to help you through dangerous and difficult times, and a few people would have read it, I'm sure. But instead she wrote a story about a young wizard who needed to somehow, despite not knowing anything about magic at the beginning, defeat the most dangerous, evil, powerful wizard that there's ever been. And in fact, the only way that he actually had a shot at doing that is with the help of friends that he gathers along the way. As far as I know, quite a few people read that story, so you might have heard of it. But in fact, in this competition, there was one story written by Dominic Carey called George the Unlikely Hero, which, whether or not Dominic realised it at the time that he was writing it, what he was kind of saying was, you know, you should give maybe the unlikely looking people or person a chance to achieve things. You know, it's not necessarily, don't assume because somebody maybe doesn't fit what you think of as normal that they can't achieve things, and you know, don't judge a book by its cover and that kind of thing. And obviously that's a really important message to get across, which as a story is going to affect a lot more people than if you necessarily just sort of said those things. So yeah, all you guys are doing really important work on that, and poetry as well is really important, because as I said before, humans are sort of emotional creatures, and poetry is pure emotion, really. It's sort of emotion sort of distilled into words, and it can paint vivid pictures of anything from loneliness to hope, to what it's like to be mesmerized by something. And a lot of times it can get it across in a more powerful way than just if you had a conversation or just talked about it normally. So yeah, you guys have got all these skills, which I'm just really proud of the fact that you sort of like applied them, and you got to, you know, into this competition doing all these great things, and you're going to carry on doing work on those skills and sharpening them, because they'll help you in your life going forward in whatever it is that you do. But also, if we're lucky, maybe they'll help the rest of us as well a little bit in understanding the world around us a little bit more. So yeah, congratulations, well done, and I look forward to seeing all the amazing things that you guys do in the future. Thank you very much. Julie?
Thank you. That was lovely. Thank you very much. Right, it just falls to me now to do my Oscar winner speech, to say thank yous to everybody. So first of all, I would like to thank the Mayor and Councillor Barnes for joining us today. It's great to have you. Thank you. I would like to thank the leader of Gedling Borough Council and the council anyway, the whole council, just for allowing us to come back and for opening up this wonderful council chamber for us again that we can use. But I do miss seeing your faces, I must admit. It's very quiet in here. So, and thank you. Well, that was a lovely talk and very encouraging, inspirational. In fact, I'm going to say, play Wilf's speech back, listen to it again and again, and keep writing, and keep reading, and keep having your emotions and your interest in the world around you. And I am absolutely certain, and I know I've said this before, some of you will be the J.K. Rowlings of the future, the Philip Pullmans of the future. And this county has the most amazing reputation for literary genius. And who's going to carry that on if you don't? Okay? So there's a challenge for you. Keep going. Right. I also want to thank all the entrants anyway, and their families and their teachers and everyone who supported them over the years, and the county, borough and district councillors who have supported this competition for 12 years now. Well, we're not finishing. As long as we get the funding, we're carrying on, as long as we can. As long as I can still talk. I've still got teeth. I can talk. Yeah, the support has been absolutely amazing, which isn't a word I like to use because I think it's far too overused, but it has. So, Nottinghamshire Community Foundation, who found us the Brian Treffry and Joan Oliver Fund. Without you, we couldn't carry on. So thank you again for all your support. Now, lastly, I want to thank, I think I've covered everybody, hope I've covered everybody. Lastly, I would like to thank the Flying Shark media team for all the work that's been put into this. I know how long this has taken. I know how much work has gone into it. And I'm sure if any of you get jobs in this sort of technical side of things, that you will then understand just how much has gone into this. So, thank you. And that's it. We're closed. We're done. And I start promoting again at the end of February. So, look out for your emails. I'll be in touch. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.